Yo, it's your boy, Orion, one half of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with another live stream, baby. It's Monday. What it do? We've been busy. We did the Miami Hurricanes, Florida Gators. All right, we did a little reaction to that game, which was awesome. Put out our fantasy football video. Chafino, what it do? J Bands, Steelers, what it do? Jordan Rodriguez, yo. So I got a good show today. Obviously, we've been grinding. I'm grinding all day long, right? So I got an NFL top 5 preseason week 3 rookie standouts that I want to go over based on what I feel, not what everyone else is going to say. NFL.com put out one, ESPN, a few others put out some rankings or grades, but obviously I don't go based off that. I go based off the tape that I watch. Logan Reyes, what it do? Oh, you're already asking me fantasy questions. He's like, what? He says Donovan Wilson or Tony Pollard. Well, that'll be something I'll be able to get into. JJR Sega, Whiteside, baby. Troll Patrol. I got to give credit where credit's due. Have you ended up watching preseason? For me, I enjoy watching all the teams. I know, which is kind of rare, but I wanted to be able to kind of see the standouts of the rookies, some sleepers that maybe only people of the fan of that particular team, like Troll Patrol, always follows the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. And obviously, I got to give credit where credit is due. But as far as like Donovan Wilson or Pollard, really we got to see what's going to be happening on with Zeke and Melvin Gordon, and what's going to be happening if they're actually going to play this year. Are they going to sit? As far as Pollard moving forward for the Cowboys, I still think they can make the playoffs with him. If Zeke doesn't play one down and holds out and does a whole Le'Veon Bell, I still think you can get to 9 or 10 wins with Pollard, especially with that beast O-line and a nice defense behind. I'm watching right now Yankees destroying my Mariners, yeah, but I already kind of knew that would happen, but they just got a homer right now on TV. Dylan Moore, 7th homer, a 3-run homer, 4-3. I saw my dad's Dodgers just get beat down by Aaron Judge and the Yankees, but that's another day and another story. So J-Band's maybe a little biased, but James Washington has to be top 3. Honorable mention. So at least I'll give you that. I did like the way that he played, based off the game. And obviously we got to see Juju Smith-Schuster get in the end zone. Easton 6 got to have some time here, my guy. He didn't look too bad here as well. Cooper Donnell, what it do? If you guys didn't see our Hurricanes versus Gators video, make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you smash the like button, right? Subscribe to our channel, but I think most of you guys are already in there. And I'll get into my list here in a second. Montgomery has potential. It definitely does. I feel like with Montgomery and Josh Jacobs for the Raiders and Montgomery for the Bears, it just depends on who's going to get the playing time. Tariq Cohen, is it going to be Mike Davis in the goal line? I feel Montgomery might be the best rookie running back in the whole entire league, right? But Jacobs might be able to get more touches early on. So I just kind of have to kind of see what kind of opportunities is Montgomery going to get. Humberto, he says the Bucks are going down week 1. Probably. Niners, gang, gang, gang. You guys have a lot of injuries. I hate Jameis Winston, but I do love my Bucks, but I'm real, right? They're going to be the worst in the division unless we have some issues with injuries. It looks like Cam's going to suit up week 1, so I'm excited. I know that's kind of weird for someone that's a Bucks fan to say, but I like the league healthy, moving forward. When Cam is healthy, when these players are healthy, the rest of the league is better. We saw Andrew Luck retire, which is a shame. Damon P. Aquadio, what to do, my guy? So I'll get into my list. And then I didn't really do a whole lot of honorable mentions, but obviously you guys mentioned a few of them there, so I'll go into it. And then we'll scroll back. So I watched a lot of tape over the last few days. Troll Patrol, he's firing off questions. Of course I'm going to be able to answer. So Colts playoff contenders now. Yes, I still think that they're going to win the division. As crazy as that sounds, with Jacoby Brissett, I feel that they have enough on the running game, the receivers, right, with Paris Campbell, the deep threat, T.Y. Hilton. You got Ebron, you got Doyle, Jack Doyle, Doyle, right? And you got Darius Leonard, you got Malik Hooker, you got a great coaching staff with Reich, you got Ballard at GM. So even though I think that it's a lot more close now because obviously Andrew Luck compared to Brissett, there's a huge gap. I mean, I had Brissett as a top 5 backup in the league, but as far as the AFC South is concerned, are we really scared out of any of those teams? Fuck no, we're not, right? The Jags more than likely are going to be horrible. Their defense is going to be good, but Nick Foles does not have the weapons. If you watch any preseason, they look fucking horrible. They got no running game. Fournette looks shitty. The wide receivers are shitty. Foles is above average, but what can he do with the weapons that he has? It's going to be a long fucking year. Titans, Mariota looks shitty, and I'm a Ducks guy, and I can admit that, right? Tannehill's no good either, right? Their defense is solid with Byard. Only one team is going to come out of that division going to the playoffs because there is no wild card between those two. I think someone else in the AFC will snatch up another spot. You got the Chiefs, but maybe the Chargers will get a spot. Maybe the Bills will get a wild card. I really like the Browns. To be honest, as we're kind of moving forward in preseason, if the Chargers have one, I think there's a good shot that the Cleveland Browns, I know people are talking shit, their defense is better than advertised, but I do think around that 9 to 10 win mark is where you're going to see the Texans and the Colts kind of battle it out. They'll probably only be separated by a win or two. Obviously with Deshaun Watson and, DeAndre Hopkins and the defense, even if Clowney leaves and maybe they'll get a lineman, because that's what I'm hearing, Clowney for a lineman that could really help them because their O-line is fucking trash. We know that. So if you can get to the quarterback, right, Watson's not going to have time. He'll be able to make plays just because he's awesome, right? He's Deshaun Watson. But at some point, scrambling for your life is going to get tiring. You're going to lose games by throwing bad throws, being chased all the time. You're going to give up a lot of sacks. But as far as, I think, a stability, an overall team, offense, defense, coaching, GM, I like the Colts still as the team to beat in that division. Obviously, Brissett has to play better than we've ever seen. But if I have to go for an O-line that I love, right, with a quarterback that maybe is not as good as Deshaun Watson, but their defense I feel is going to be just as good as the Texans, if not better, I still think that they're going to be able to compete. Will the Texans more than likely leapfrog them maybe towards the end? It's possible, but I don't think it's going to be a big gap. Like, let's say the Texans win the division at 10 wins. I think you can still get the Colts with 9, with a team with Jacoby Brissett leading them. I think he's solid. He could be a starter. Shit, I would take Jacoby Brissett over Jameis Winston. So I'm not sure if what that really tells you, but I don't have any confidence in Jameis. But I feel that Brissett, he may not have all the attributes as Aaron Rodgers or a Breeze or a Roethlisberger or a Russell Wilson, but what he has basically in his arsenal is he doesn't turn the ball over, right? So I like that. You know what I mean? He's more than a game manager. He can get you a few touchdowns. Yeah, he'll make mistakes, but I feel that for the most part, he'll be able to get it done. And I still like their chances of winning the division at 9, 10, or 11 wins. I know that sounds crazy, but they have a lot of pieces around them. Rocky Sin, Bonogu, a lot of the guys they drafted in that second round are solid. O-line solid. Paris Campbell, deep threat. T.Y., 2 good tight ends. Marlon Mack, Hines at running back. They got pieces on pieces on pieces. They may not be sexy, big-name pieces, but I think their piece is good enough to get it done. And the Texans' O-line is horrendous. I don't like the head coaching spots there. I don't really like the structure that they have, and then the Clowney drama. So I think there's a little bit of wiggle room there. But that's a good question, you know what I mean? It's kind of a lot of Colts fans. One of my best friends is a Colts fan. Didn't answer my text after I told him, probably because he was punching the wall, pissed off. Lunar, one of our, sport fanatic, hardcore fans, probably cried all last night. But, you got to think about letting him keep the money, right? Which might mean he might come back. You know what I mean? If you ended up taking that money that you owed him, over that $15 million more, $16 million that could have been taken back, what happens if he has a change of heart this year, a couple weeks from now, a year or two? You know what I mean? Do you really want to do him dirty like that after he got booed? He might come back still. So I feel that there's still time to kind of process the info. Do I feel that he's gone forever? Probably 90%. There's still a chance that he can come back, but with the injuries that he's kind of occurred, over these last 3 or 4 years, it's going to be tough. But I definitely like Brissett. I'm not sure if everyone likes him as much as me, but Like Cooper says, you like the Texans over the Colts. How many points did the Texans score against the Cowboys? Exactly. So they're not going to be that good. I mean, you're going to be able to go as far as Watson can take you, but I think the defense isn't as good as people think it's going to be. The offensive line is trash. Even though you picked offensive linemen, you didn't pick the right ones, right? You ended up losing Lamar Miller. Where's their running game? Where's the O-line? So Deshaun Watson's going to throw to Deshaun Watson for 8 touchdowns a season, and DeAndre Hopkins is going to have 20? Fuck no. So I like the Colts more in that division. They got more depth. The Texans have some pieces, right? But they're not going to win the division this year, and I think that they're going to be inspired, and T.Y. will have a great year playing for their man, Andrew Luck. All right. So let me go into the list here real quick, and then I'll scroll up, and we'll go over any questions on the O-line, D-lines, who I think that's going to end up going to the playoffs. I've been watching so much tape, I haven't been able to sleep a whole lot. But it's important because as we're getting to the regular season, people say preseason is not important. They're fucking wrong, okay? When you go through predictions and you go through rosters and you check out backups, you never know when those guys are going to be able to step up. And usually with me going through predictions in college football and NFL, I feel like I'm right about 80% of the time. And there's a fucking reason, because you go through the tape, you go through the websites, the team websites, the film, and you study it, you break it down, and you figure it out, okay? So number 5. This is one of the rookies that has a great chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He could have been the first pick in the fucking draft, right? Their team blows, but their defense with this piece added with him, right, really puts them in that top 5 category, and they may be as high as top 3 when the year is over. Is their offense potent? No. Right? They got a new QB from the Eagles. But I do love this player. He definitely has a shot to make a name, Josh Allen. And I'm not talking Josh Allen on the Buffalo Bills, which I love also. But now you got 2 Josh Allens in the league, and both of them are great, in my opinion. They're both going to show out. They're both going to make a name for themselves. And with the Jags, Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey, Bouye, Yannick. You got so many pieces on pieces on pieces, right? Miles Jack. You got this guy that will be able to get in there right away. He had 2 tackles for loss versus the Dolphins, but the way he has his motor off the edge, right? You can literally put this guy at DN, outside linebacker, inside. Really wherever you want to move him around, he's going to be a threat. I really like his chances to be a top 5 candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He is going to be a problem. He may not be the best at his position, but he definitely is going to give that extra oomph for that offense, because the offense is going to be horrible. They're going to need those players to force fumble, Peanut Tillman punch it out, get pick sixes, fumbles for touchdowns. They're going to have to score probably a touchdown on the defensive side almost every other game or every 3 games to keep them kind of in games. It could be a long year for them, but I absolutely love Josh Allen for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval, Saxonville, number 5. Number 4. Number 4 is a player that I absolutely love. When I watch him, he reminds me of the second coming of Rob Gronkowski. Gronk Spike, right? You got a guy that is an excellent blocker. Gronk, if you watch his tape at the beginning of his career, that's one thing that really excelled. He showed off his skill set. Like, we knew he could grab the ball. We knew he could rumble, right? But the blocking aspect of a tight end is often overlooked. He's one of the best that's ever played the game, Gronk, at blocking and being able to release, get good footwork, good hands, good movement, obviously not only in the pocket and obviously going into his routes, out routes, in routes, fade routes, whatever it may be, post route. But this guy has a chance not only to have the most targets this season for Matthew Stafford, but even with Kenny Galladay or anybody else on the team, Marvin Jones, this guy is going to be not only the third down check down guy, but he's going to be the guy that's going to, I feel, score the most touchdowns for the team this season. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about T.J. Hawkinson from Iowa, tight end, 3 receptions out of 4 opportunities, 4 targets, 52 yards. He ran all over the Bills. He's going to be that guy that I feel will get 7, 8, 9 targets a game. He'll come up with at least 5 or 6 balls, and I think in more cases or not, there's a great chance for him to hit over 1,000 yards, and he has a great chance to hit 8 TDs or more. And he's the type of guy, if you double cover him, it won't matter, right? He'll still be able to get in the end zone sometimes once, and I bet you in this season, he might even get in twice a few times this year. He's a problem. He's unblockable. Like I said, it's going to end up being Travis Kelce 1. So bad it hurt Zach Ertz number 2, right? And then number 3, George Kittle. And then number 4, normally it's like O.J. Howard or Ebron, but don't be surprised if Hawkinson's name is in that top 5 by the time the year is over, and then moving forward, he'll be a top 5, top 6 tight end. He's probably better than O.J. Howard, and I'm a Buccaneer fan. So even though Jameis is, going to have the best season of his career, I would take Hawkinson over O.J. Howard. That's saying a lot because we saw him at Alabama and he dominated there, but I still think Hawkinson has a chance to be better. So probably maybe somewhere between after Ebron, Hawkinson, and then probably O.J. Howard. And that's saying a lot for me to put a guy that's a rookie right in the top 5. So that shows you how much I really expect of him, and I think moving forward he's going to be an amazing player. People are going to be jealous. It'll be one of the number 1 selling jerseys since Megatron at the tight end position. They needed it. They may not be able to compete in the division in the NFC North, but at least you have a guy with Stafford that you can build some chemistry with, and then you end up having some other pieces hopefully step up like Galladay, and then we'll see what they get from the running game as well. Number 4, DJ Hawkinson. All right. Number 3 is a guy that I could have put at 2 or 1. It's tough. There's a lot of guys that have played pretty good football, but I'm going to put him at number 3. Everyone clowned the GM, said this pick was too high. They said that this quarterback can't take over Eli's job. Now everyone's looking like a fucking idiot. Gettleman's looking smart. Obviously, fans of the Giants are excited, right? Are they going to be able to compete this year? Fuck no, right? But moving forward, right, with Haskins in the division, Jones in the division, you got Wentz, you got Dak. It's an exciting division for years to come, and I think the thing that everyone's surprised about is Daniel Jones' accuracy, his footwork in the pocket, his eye manipulation, just the zip on the ball, the confidence that he has out there as a leader, a guy from Duke. Who the hell knew that this guy was going to be this ready right away? There's a reason why he was the first quarterback picked, obviously behind Kyler Murray after that position. Everyone's, it's too high. Now it's not looking too high. I think he's going to be better than Haskins. I think he's going to be better than Kyler Murray just because he's got a little bit more weapons to work with. Kyler Murray's O-line's horrible. David Johnson, I don't think he's going to be David Johnson anymore. The defense is booty-O's, right? And then Haskins has some weapons to work with, but I just don't really know if the injury bug is going to hit the Redskins again. Marcus will tell you. It seems like it always does, and that's going to hurt him if he has less weapons to work with, like Jordan Reed, for example, gets hurt every single year. Daniel Jones is the type of guy, he doesn't need a lot of weapons. I feel that he can make people better, and that's very rare at the quarterback position. The line is more stable than probably those other 2 teams, so that's going to help him. But with Saquon, Daniel Jones, I don't know what week we're going to see him. Maybe week 8, maybe week 9, maybe week 10. 9 for 11, 141 yards in week 3. We've seen him throw touchdown passes in each of the first 2 games as well. You could start this guy week 1, period, and feel good about it. And I think people would start him in fantasy, depending on whoever they played. He looks that good. He looks that sharp. Haskins and Kyler Murray will be able to, make their baby steps. And some games they'll look great. In other games, they'll look inaccurate and look horrible. Obviously, if Kyler Murray had more weapons, if you put Kyler Murray on the Giants, obviously he'd be looking better too, with a better O-line and a better team to work with. But with that being said, Daniel Jones, number 3, look for him to be able to start taking off. And I think he's one of those guys that if you were wondering, does he got it? The it factor that we look for in players at the quarterback position. I would take Daniel Jones just as high as a Josh Allen, confidence-wise, a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, anybody besides Josh Rosen in last year's draft. And then I would match him up with anyone in this draft. With Kyler Murray one-on-one, Dwayne Haskins one-on-one. That's how much I really think of Daniel Jones moving forward. Obviously, when they get Golden Tate and Shepard and some of them have, Evan Ingram, they're going to have some weapons. Hernandez on the line is great, right? But they still have holes. But moving forward, he's going to be the franchise guy, and I like their chances to be competitive in a couple years. It's nice that they have Saquon, but Daniel Jones is better than anyone ever expected, and he's going to be able to help them stay afloat moving forward. So once Eli goes, they're not going to be a 1 or 2 win team. They're still going to be able to win 4, 5, 6 games for a couple years, and then depending on what they do next year in the draft, free agency, who knows? Maybe they'll be able to get closer to a 7, 8, or 9 win team, depending on what they do in the draft and who comes over. But Daniel Jones is a G. I love him. New York Football Giants, number 3. Number 2, Number 2 is a player that I watch very closely at Stanford, and I'm not talking about Andrew Luck. I'm an Oregon Duck fan. I watch all the Pac-12 games very thoroughly. Anybody that goes to Stanford, John Elway, Andrew Luck, you look at these guys, they're very intelligent, they're smart, they're masters of the film room, they take care of their bodies. This is not a game, this is life. Football is life to these guys. Perfectionist, right? This guy is going to start stealing snaps away from Nelson Aguilar, and Nelson Aguilar at this point is expendable. You can trade him away, right? It could be a guy that you can plug in right away. He's already shown you what he can do. You have him on the thumbnail, so obviously you know how much I think of this player. You got D-Jax back for a year. He's going deep, right? You got Darren Sproles back for a year. Throw him in the screen pass game. You can throw him in the slot if you want as well. You got Alshon Jeffrey. You're not trading him away, right? You got so bad it hurts Zach Ertz. You got Dallas Goedert. You got Aguilar, but now he's like the 5th or 6th option because this guy from Stanford is the real fucking deal. I've watched him last year, the year before. I know how good he is. I'm talking about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Going to make a name for himself, all right? 8 receptions, 104 yards against the Ravens, a nice touchdown, and the stage is not too big for him. The bright lights are not too big. He's the perfect guy for Philly, all right? Philly fans are going to love him moving forward. Nelson Aguilar, it took him some time to kind of catch up to the NFL game. You thought these guys that go to these big colleges are going to be able to step up right away. The Eagles like to get guys from the Pac-12. We know that, but J.J. Arcega-Whiteside pretty much took away Nelson Aguilar's spot. I mean, is he going to be better than Alshon Jeffrey? No, they're 2 different types of guys, but you can throw him in the slot, you can put him outside, you can put him inside, you can you run reverses with him. He's very athletic. He runs good routes. He's got great hands. He's got an eye for the end zone. He can go up and get it. I really like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He's going to be a problem. You're not going to be able to guard him. So when everyone's double teaming, Goddard over the top, or maybe Zach Ertz, so bad it hurts Zach Ertz, or maybe D-Jack's got a safety over the top, who is going to be floating around in those intermediate routes, being able to catch those balls all day long, matched up against some slow-ass safety or some busted-up linebacker, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Look for him to do big things this season, and I bet you he scores at least 5 touchdowns this season, maybe even more, depending on Carson Wentz and his MVP return. Yeah, I said it. MVP return. Carson Wentz is going to dominate this season. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside will be one of his new favorites. Believe that. Number 2, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Fly, Eagles, fly. I know you guys like that, Eagles fans. Number 1, right? The only guy that's pretty much outshined J.J. Arcega-Whiteside last game, right? Or maybe Daniel Jones in the preseason. Right? It takes a lot. These guys have really played well, right? The number 1 option to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, initially when Devin Bush came out, he had the 10-tackle game. He looked good. I've been waiting for my Devin White from my Bucks to do something. He started off really slow. There's been other rookies like Josh Allen that have stepped up, but hands down, the number 1 rookie throughout this whole preseason class, first week, second week, third week, that is on the defensive side, that's dominated, that I think is the next star in the NFL. Daniel Jones could be one of those guys. Hawkinson could be one of those guys. Arcega-Whiteside maybe won't be a star nationally, but he'll be a damn good wide receiver for that team, and you'll be able to hear more about him. I'm talking about Brian Spida Burns, the next Von Miller, the next Javon Curse, the next big name in the NFL, all right? On the Panthers, 4 sacks in 3 games. This guy's a problem. You're not going to be able to guard this guy. He's big. He's lengthy. He's got good hands. He's got great feet. He's got a good motor. He's literally unguardable. He's like one of those Von Miller type of cats where no matter who you put in front of him, any type of tackle on the outside, even Pro Bowl guys that have been in the league are going to have a fucking problem. All right, against the Pats, 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble. I don't think I've been so impressed with another rookie coming in. I'm a Buccaneer guy, right? But I appreciate the Panthers, the Falcons, the New Orleans Saints, right? Because I'm a realist. I'm a fan. I call it right down the middle. If I recognize a talent, I'll let you know. But Spider Burns definitely has the upper hand on any other rookie right now to not only win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I think he could be like all-pro, first team, like a Darius Leonard right out the gate. He's that damn good. Van Der Esch right out the gate. Derwin James, Jamal Adams, right out the gate. We're talking a guy that could be a potential, it's early because we need to make sure that he plays, but a perennial Pro Bowler year in, year out. I don't see this guy as a fluke. If you watched him at Florida State, it's not a fluke. They have athletes, 3 Fs, like Jalen Ramsey, but he's unblockable. He's going to be one of those guys. Don't be surprised if he has a 3-sack game, maybe even a 4-sack game. I wouldn't say that about any guy unless it was Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, or Von Miller. So if I'm mentioning him in those names, what does that tell you about what I think about this player? He should have probably went in the top 5, top 8, but obviously he slid down. Other people were getting a little bit more love, a little bit more pub. But now with the Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints and the Falcons having to battle this guy, it's going to be a problem. I mean, I imagine once Jameis gets hit, crab legs are going to come out of the jersey, out of the pants. They're just going to go flying everywhere, helmet flying off. Who knows what else he's got in there? He's going to kill him. And like I said, jersey, everyone buys Luke, right? Luke Kuechly. This guy is going to match those jersey totals sooner than later. Cam gets a lot of jersey sales, runs CMC, right? You got Gerald McCoy, but it's kind of towards the back end of his career. I guarantee it won't take long that he'll end up being one of the number 1 jersey sellers, not only on the Panthers, right, in their hometown and that whole fan base, but league-wide. Brian Spider Burns is the guy that has that upper hand, that upper leg to get Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I think he's going to get first team All-Pro this season. He's that good. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets 10 to 16 sacks this first year. It's like Bradley Chubb on the Broncos, but fucking better, right? And that says a lot about the talent and the skill set of Brian Spider Burns, all right? You guys like that? That's the list. So let me go up here, scroll up, acknowledge everybody, and we'll go over some questions. Chafino, yo, what it do? J-Bands, Steelers. Jordan Rodriguez, yo. Logan Reyes, he's a Donovan Wilson or Pollard. JJ Arciega Whiteside, baby. Baby. J-Bands, maybe a little biased, but James Washington has been in top 3. Not top 3. I mean, if you went over those names that I did, he definitely has been playing lights out. Right, it definitely gives them another option for Big Ben. James Conner is unstoppable. Juju Smith-Schuster, unstoppable, right? And James Washington's starting to make a name for himself, and they need that. I still have the Steelers winning the division. I don't care what anyone says. I still like the coaching staff. I like the team. Everyone's talking about the Browns and the Ravens. I don't think the Bengals have any shot. The Browns are probably going to be the biggest threat. I like what the Ravens have done as well, but I think with the Browns' offense and the defense, they're a little bit more well-rounded than we were giving them credit for. I think the Browns' offense will be better than the Ravens, right? And then the defenses will be very similar, Ravens and the Browns, but the Browns got the upper hand. I feel that when they played the Bucs, it showed you that they have depth. They're going to be able to get to the quarterback. They have plenty of pieces that they can rotate. They are going to be a problem. And if I had to put money on it, if they go to the playoffs this year or not, I would lean towards they are going to go as a wild card team. So that would be one spot taken by the Cleveland Browns. And like I said, don't be surprised if it happens. If they get 9 or 10 wins, don't be shocked. I mean, I got the Steelers winning around 11. So if the Browns get 10, I like what they have. I mean, they could even win the division and overachieve if there's some injuries, on the Steelers. I mean, anything is possible. But they're going to be battling between the Ravens flock, Steelers, and obviously the Cleveland Browns. And it's good for football. You know what I mean? We've been having these fucking bottom feeders all the time, the Bucks and the Browns and the Cardinals and all these shitty fucking teams. It's nice to be able to see these low teams get some pub. I like the chances of them moving forward. And that's big facts. Easton Stick. He said he's going to have some time here, my guy. I don't have him in my top 5, but I've been impressed with what he's been doing. Obviously, Phillip Rivers is going to get, the playing time. And then if you look through, some of the other pieces that you got, Tyrod Taylor, that's kind of nice to have, moving forward, better than Stick. So you're going to have to see if Rivers goes down. At least you got some stability out there. Cooper, Donnell, Montgomery has potential. More than potential. David Montgomery is the guy that could be the best running back not only in this draft, but he could be a superstar, the next Matt Forte for their team. I really believe that. He breaks tackles all day. You're not going to be able to stop him with those weak-ass arm tackles. And if he ends up getting to start and get a majority of the carries, he's going to dominate. I would look for him in fantasy as that kind of sleeper back. Tariq Cohen might steal some of his reps and Mike Davis early, but maybe by week 6, 7, 8, he ends up being that main guy, and then they're not going to look back because he's that damn good. Bolts or Colts week 1? Bolts or Colts week 1? Where is the game being played? That is going to be a big part of it. But obviously, with even with Derwin James being out and Melvin Gordon possibly being out, I'd go the Bolts. The Bolts are going to win week 1. I don't think it's not like I think the Colts are going to be bad, even if it's Colts at home. I still think that the Bolts, right? With Phillip Rivers, they got enough depth there. Keenan Allen, I don't even care if Bosa plays or not. You got enough depth with that team. Melvin Ingram, Verrett's gone, so that was a liability anyways. They got pieces on pieces on pieces, so it might be closer than people think. But I definitely like Phillip Rivers. I root for him, and I think that they could definitely win week 1. Damon Piacquadio, what to do? Colts playoff contenders now. I answered that question. I definitely think that they could be. You see what Jason Kelsey said in regards to Andrew Luck. He played on a broken foot and had a bad elbow last season. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's just crazy for people to boo him. I mean, I get it, but you have to look at the football player as a man, not just like an object. He's like, my Colts are going to lose a bunch of games now. Boo, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, can we actually just be real for once? And it's not just about our football teams. I mean, like I said, we all love football, and we love our football teams and our quarterbacks, except my quarterback, Jameis Winston. They should have had him retire instead of Andrew Luck, and everyone would have celebrated with crab legs for everyone, right? Red Lobster crab legs for free for the rest of the year. But it is what it is. But I think they definitely mishandled that. They got a little over-emotional, but at least they let him keep the money. And so if he does decide to possibly come back, at least he'll be on somewhat good terms. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but they didn't handle that the right way. Andrew Luck is a warrior, and just too many injuries. Think about it. If Andrew Luck would have played this year and he was 25% into it and ended up having like 15 touchdowns and 25 picks, then what are you going to say? Like, he fucking sucked, and this and that. He's regressed in his talent. He's not focused. He doesn't, Well, if he's not into it, you're gonna have a guy go out there and just sacrifice his body if he doesn't want to play. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Because that's what would have happened. He probably would have had a bad year, or just wouldn't have been mentally in it. It would have probably made his home life with his wife horrible. Maybe a divorce. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? So I wish him the best. I hope everything ends up being okay. And if you remember, there's other guys that have went out on their own terms. Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, certain Gronk. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, well, obviously Barry and Calvin aren't coming back, but Gronk might come back this season. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But sometimes, you got to let a guy go. Bo Jackson played and ended up getting that horrific injury. Baseball, football, it's sad, that, he couldn't come back and be 100% in football because, so certain guys that play for a short period of time, depending on if the injury is too much or they're just mentally not into it. Like Brandon Roy, for me, a Blazer fan, he's a legend. You know what I mean? Rookie of the year, all-star, 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 T-Wolves, end of the career. I mean, wouldn't it have been great if he would have been able to play 10 or 12 years? All right, but I would rather have an amazing elite player for 5 than an average player for 12. So, I mean, it's all about perspective on how you see it, and then that kind of cements someone's legacy because that maybe they could have played more, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. See, also everyone but Jason Peters on the O-line is going to be on the ESPN body issue. Okay, so the entire division is a mess. Texans versus Colts. I disagree. Texans should sign Jay Ajayi. He's been cleared. Or trade for Melvin Gordon. That would be better. Or even my Bucks. Try to get Melvin Gordon. The Clowney thing. I mean, if you want to trade Clowney and get maybe a tackle, that would be huge. And then try to get maybe Melvin Gordon or Ajayi. That would definitely help. Lamar Miller being out. No running game, no O-line. How many games do you really expect them to win? Like, really? It's going to be a long year. It says, hope Clowney goes to Philly. I think that would be an awesome spot for him. Him there, Seattle. There's a few other places I think that he would be a good fit. But just don't trade too much for him just because how long is he going to play before he gets hurt? And then if you give up, a player, like if you give up Aguilar and then a tackle or a first rounder, I mean, it might end up being blown up in your face if he ends up playing 4 games and then, tearing his ACL or something of that nature. So we'll see. But I don't know if he'll end up going to the Eagles. Damon said long shot, more than likely. Eric Fisher for Jadeveon Clowney. You could do that, but I don't think you really need him there on the Chiefs. You got plenty of pieces. Frank Clark's there already, so not comfortable trading an O-lineman. I wouldn't be either. Chargers might be looking to sign a veteran offensive tackle this weekend. Going to be cutting some guys and need someone to put in Okung's absence. Absolutely. He's never been the same since he was on Seattle. Lots of different conditions that he's going. Damon believes me too. Brissett can get it done. I believe he can too. Fisher made the Pro Bowl, but if you watch the games live, he's trash. Yeah, like I said, for being a guy that was a very high draft pick and being kind of, people expect so much from him. Yeah, I don't expect anything from him, so I agree. I mean, he's not very good, but, at times he can play decent. Lane Johnson was the best guy in that class. AFC West predictions. Easy. Chiefs 1, right? Chargers 2 by default. And then the way that I've been watching the games, Raiders have leapfrogged the Broncos, in my opinion. I think that Joe Flacco can play okay. I love Von Miller, right? I love Bradley Chubb. I love Harris, right? But I mean, besides that, I mean, they're really young. Sanders is coming off the injury. Cortland Sutton has some potential. Hamilton has some potential. I love Royce Freeman. I love the running back committee that they have there with Lindsey. Obviously, Lindsey's a stud. He's the best player on the offense, period. O-line has holes. It just depends on John Gruden and if he can get them to buy in. I could see them surpassing Denver for third place. I don't see them going to the playoffs this season at all, but I think in the first 3 years when they go to Vegas, Raiders, they could go maybe 9-7 at some point, or 10-6 in a couple years and make a name. But Chiefs, hands down, are going to be the best team in football. I got them winning 13 or 14 games this season. I think they can go to the AFC Championship game. If they play the Pats, I could see them actually winning this time around. And then if they go to the Super Bowl, it'd be hard to bet against them, especially if Mahomes is clicking with 40, 45, 50 TDs, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000 passing yards, and he's going to get MVP again, in my opinion, back-to-back seasons. That's how much confidence I have in him. He's a very special player. I think they're going to be great. They're going to be the funnest team to watch in football this season, Patrick the Clone Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see here. Let me keep scrolling down. I used to think my Bolts could steal it from the Chiefs this year, but the injury bug just won't freaking leave. Yeah, there's 0% chance that you're going to be able to leapfrog the Chiefs. I mean, I think with the D coordinator change, Frank Clark, right? Juan Thornhill, Honey Badger, Hitchens, Chris Jones, Mahomes, right? And they ended up getting DeAnthony Thomas signed. You got the Legion of Zoom. You got a stable of running backs. If you had Derwin James and Melvin Gordon was in there with Eckler and the rest, Jackson, you'd be good. There would be a chance where you could, get 11 or 12 wins. But I think the injury bug is just a little bit too much. I still think you can make the wild card at 10 wins, 11 wins, but you're going to have to really rely on Phillip and Eckler and the rest of the weapons. Tyrell, obviously is gone to the Raiders. So Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are going to have to step up. Hunter Henry, the defense. Bosa's going to play a majority of the games. Ingram's a beast. But that Derwin James loss, even though you got Nasir Adderley to help out on the back end, it's devastating. You know what I mean? Having a Pro Bowl safety, all-pro safety. To me, Derwin James is the best safety in the league, not named Jamal Adams or Kevin Byard. And so that shows you like the lack of that position is going to be big. But you still can make a move. You can still make some, take some names and beat some people up out there. But I still think there's a few teams that are going to be better than the Chargers this season. But they still will be able to compete because you got Phillip Rivers. That's big facts. Bill Romanowski says Broncos. Like I said, I had them about third like everyone else, but I just don't feel too comfortable. The only way I feel them beating the Raiders is if Phillip Lindsay and Royce stay injury-free for a majority of the season. I don't think they will. Flacco will play good at times, but he's inaccurate. The wide receiver core is kind of thin. Sanders is a little older, even though he looked amazing. In preseason he looked good. Von Miller and Chubb will be amazing. They will dominate. Harris, those three will dominate. I could see Von Miller and Bradley Chubb combining for 25 sacks this season, maybe 26. That's going to be a problem. But besides those guys, you got to have more than 3 guys on the D that are going to be consistent, and you got to have more than 5 guys on the O that are going to be able to make plays. So I'm a little worried about them. I don't know what we're going to get from that team. I could see them going 6-10. Raiders, 5-11, 6-10, around that same kind of win record. It just really depends, on the rest of the teams in the division, who gets injured moving forward, and how accurate. And what kind of play calling are we going to end up getting, from Vic Fangio? Are we going to get, something special out there? Are they really going to be able to kind of bring over what they had with that momentum with the Bears defense with him, with the Denver Broncos? That side of the ball I'm not worried about. It's the offense, and that's big facts. Josh Allen, the pass rusher. Defense will carry Jacksonville. Foles will lean on that, but they're going to lose a shitload of games. They look bad. That's all I got to say. I was hoping that the Jets would have selected Josh Allen so we could see Josh Allen sack Josh Allen. I mean, wouldn't that be something? Josh Allen sacking Josh Allen. Maybe one day. John Roberts, Bills Mafia, what it do? Too bad the Bills don't play Jacksonville this year. Eventually they will, probably in the next couple years. Sixing, hey, first day of my second year in college. Just had to take care of some things, but I'm here. Great to have you. We did the Hurricanes and Gators, right? We did that, a little reaction, since I was kind of doing play-by-play in color for Cowboys and Texans, going back and forth, so it was nice to kind of go through the highlights. Marcus ended up watching about a quarter of that game, so he didn't really see it all the way through, so I figured we'd go over it together. We did a fantasy football, our second annual, obviously, fantasy football league. In that video, if you want to put your email, we'll do a drawing. So if you guys want to be a part of it, we got 10 spots open. Me and Marcus are going to have a spot split. And then we have our winner from last year, J-Mo, Jason Most, Niner Gang. And then we'll have 10 spots open. It's going to be fun. Prizes at the end. And then we'll also have the Pigskin Pick'em for anyone that doesn't get in or someone that does get in and wants to do both. So we'll definitely do that as well. Troll Patrol. Ertz is where it hurts the defense. Yeah, he's unguardable. Who can stop Zach Ertz? Fucking nobody. That's big facts. I mean, like I said, he's probably the most dominant big-name tight end that we've had in this league for a long time that's not known, like, league-wide. I don't know why. I mean, with them winning the Super Bowl, you think that they would get a little bit more pub for him, but it just seems like everyone knows Wentz and Alshon Jeffrey and Fletcher Cox and Malcolm. Why do not people, recognize how good Zach Ertz is? I mean, Eagles fans get it. I get it. Some of the NFL landscape gets it, but I feel that a lot of people are like, Kittle's better or Ebron's better. Well, obviously they're not watching the targets, the hands, the tape, the movement, the leadership. You know what I mean? But I think maybe that's what he likes, be the little underdog. But he's been the second best tight end for a long time. And it's more of a 1A, 1B to me, not 1, 2, 3. It's that close. I mean, Travis Kelce's athletic. He runs like a wide receiver like Kittle. He gets a little bit more opportunities, obviously on the Chiefs than some of these other guys that are 2, 3, 4, and 5. But Zach Ertz has made the most of his time. And obviously if they didn't have him, there's no Super Bowl ring for Fly, Eagles Fly without him. Very valuable to that roster. I'd love to have a guy like that on my roster. So bad it hurts Zach Ertz. I love him. Let's see here. Good to see you guys. Let's see here. Eli's still going to start, though. Absolutely he is. There's no question about that. It's all politics, right? Dwayne Haskins, in all reality, Kyler should start. Dwayne Haskins should start. Daniel Jones should start. I mean, even though Kyler Murray's O-line is trash, David Johnson, to me, is kind of trash, right? The defense trash, but he's good enough to start. He's better than anyone else on the roster, right? Dwayne Haskins is better right now, today, anyone on the roster. Daniel Jones is better than Eli. He can give them more oomph. They'll play harder for him, right? But I mean, what can you do? It is what it is. Crush Boy, DJ 47, yo, what it do, baby? JJ Arcega, Whiteside, Josh Allen, MVP. John Roberts is like, I don't care if he's talking about Josh Allen on the Jags. I'll talk about Josh Allen on the Bills. I said, I don't even care. Soggy Milk, TJ Hawkinson. Amazing player. Like I mentioned, the best tight end that's come out in the league probably in 5 years, maybe more. I mean, he's really nice. I mean, like I said, you got Travis Kelce. You got so bad it hurts Zach Ertz, right? You got Ebron. You got Kittle, right? You got O.J. Howard and a few others, right? But this guy could be a top 3 tight end for years to come. Better than Ebron, right? Better than O.J. Howard, but right there in the mix with Kittle, right? So bad it hurts Zach Ertz and Travis Kelce. Top 3, top 4 moving forward. I really believe that. He's going to be a problem. And it wouldn't even surprise me at one point or another if he ended up leading the tight ends and touchdowns sooner than later. I don't know what year that's going to be, if Stafford is still healthy enough to play. But, I mean, getting like 10, 11, 12 touchdowns from Hawkinson from Stafford wouldn't really shock me down the road. Maybe not this season, but who knows? I mean, if he goes to him a lot, this season, less maybe targets for Galladay or Jones or maybe Kerryon Johnson. Maybe Hawkinson's the number 1 guy. Maybe he gets 10 targets a game. Maybe he ends up getting 10 or 12 at the end of the year. It wouldn't really surprise me. He's that talented. It's exciting to see the next Gronk come into the league. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but these Iowa boys, him, Fant isn't as good, but he's got potential. Dallas Clark in the past. They know how to breed the tight ends there. I absolutely love TJ Hawkinson. Big facts. Damon P. Aquadio, Carson Wentz, MVP. Brian Burns out of FSU. Spider Burns, amazing. And I think any Panther fans that had any hesitation on, oh, did we reach? Did he slide back? How good of a player is he really? I think he's already proven to you everything you want to know. And I'm not even going to lie. If I could buy a Spider Burns jersey without getting mocked in NFL circles because I'm a Bucks fan, like if it was just like me buying a jersey, putting it in the closet, not necessarily saying, I'm rooting the Panthers and the Bucks, because obviously I can't do that, but he's like one of those players that if it was more socially acceptable to buy a jersey of a player in your division and not get ripped for it, Brian Spider Burns would be like probably the first player I'd buy, and then Alvin Kamara would probably be the second one. And both those guys are in my division. I can't do that, right? It sucks that I have players that I love so much that are in the division, but at least I give credit where credit's due. Those are the two guys that I like the most, right now, as far as kind of young, up-and-coming talent. I love defense, so obviously that's where the Brian Spider Burns comes from, right? Devin White should be good for me as well, but Spider is just something else, right? And then Alvin Kamara, I mean, how can you not root for a guy like that? Third rounder, chip on his shoulder, top 4 running back already in the league, has a great chance to lead that team to an NFC championship game, possibly against the Eagles this year. I'm excited. But, I mean, if I could do that, I mean, if there's 3 jerseys that I could buy that I could just think of off the top of my head and just stash in my closet for, years down the road, Alvin Kamara, Spider Burns, probably Mahomes. I mean, I haven't seen guys like this in a long time, and it's refreshing to see the talent of these guys. I mean, it's just right out the gates, making a name. Obviously with Spider Burns, and Mahomes, you already knew what they were going to be with first-round talents, but you didn't know how high the ceiling could be. And then AK-41 just, one of those guys, chip on his shoulder. Jalen Hurts started ahead of him, obviously in college, and then went transferred to Baylor, became a wide receiver. But I really like his skill set. And they say, I don't know if he can be the full-time back. He'll be the full-time back, and he'll be just fine. Abso-fucking-lutely. All right? Let's see here. Claiborne is really underrated signing. He's a decent veteran corner that can teach the younger guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sold that much on Claiborne a lot. I mean, he can go out there and be maybe a little bit of a teacher out there, but, I mean, I got to be able to see what happens moving forward with playing time and what he's going to be able to do out there. That awkward moment when you see Donovan McNabb in Redskins jersey, yeah. I mean, I'll always picture him, in the Eagles uniform, period. Emmitt Smith always in the Cowboys, jersey. Just certain guys, when they go, it just looks weird. Like Brett Favre on the Vikings, like, it's weird, you know what I mean? Jets, weird. It's always Green Bay, but it is what it is. Duke Williams is the real deal. I was already telling you that, John Roberts, a long time ago. He said, I hope the Bills keep him on the roster. They will. He's a savage, yep, and he's got good hands. I like him at wide receiver, sleeper. Josh Allen needs all the helps that you can get. That's a new YouTuber, bro. West Coast Birds, shout out. Thanks, bro. West Coast Birds, thank you so much. $2 donation, even though some people think that it's not a big deal. It is a fucking big deal. It's one thing to subscribe to the channel, to smash the fucking like button, to donate to your boy. I don't care if it's $1, $2, or if you're Omer and you're dropping $300, $400. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. West Coast Birds, $2 new YouTuber, bro. West Coast Birds, shout out. He said, thanks, brah. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I hope you enjoyed the show and follow us. Like I said, it's going to be a fun football year. No one is going to grind harder than your boy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see. I'm going to keep going here and scrolling down. Gronk is making his big announcement tomorrow. Doubt he's coming back to football, but you never know. Maybe WWE. They're looking maybe for some talent. I still have this weird gut feeling, though, with all these tight ends getting suspended, injured, getting cut. They're going to be begging him, if they haven't already. Belichick, Brady, hey, man, hey, Gronk. I know you like to party. You got a hot girlfriend, Camille, she looks good. You guys can go travel around the world. But how about one last ride for your boy? One last ride. And so maybe around week 8, week 9, week 10, he decides, hey, you know what? Let's fuck it. Let's try one more time. And especially at that point, they're going to be like 6-2 or 7-1, and they're going to have a shot. It's not like they're going to fall off the face of the fucking earth, and they're going to be sitting there at like 3-5 or like 2-6. That's not going to happen. So we'll have to kind of see. West Coast Birds in the building. He said, what's good, bro? Nothing. I'm great now after that $2 donation. Sometimes people don't believe that I get that excited over some like donations like that. Oh, it's a small donation. It doesn't matter. Just the fact that you're doing that from like your debit card, that's your money. You know what I mean? That shows a lot of love. I appreciate that a lot. And the nice thing is with a lot of these donations, I'm going to be able to give back. One of my really good friends lost his child, very early to SIDS, right? Got in a car wreck. Right, had to get a pacemaker put in. This guy's like 25 years old. He's never been to a Mariner game. He's never been to a Duck game. He's had a hard time. The doctor said that he wasn't going to be more than likely able to speak or walk. After the accident, after his son died after like a month. Really hard on him, you know what I mean? It was going to be his firstborn, his first boy, you know what I mean? And I promised him that I was going to end up taking him to a Mariner game, probably try to get him, as close as possible, first 10 rows. I want to go to the Ducks game, not this weekend because it's obviously against Auburn, but the first home game. I get to use some of the donation money for those type of things where I can make a difference in someone's life. Because he deserves it, you know what I mean? He was homeless at one point, and not a lot of people reach out to him. And I talked to him today, and he just said how thankful that he was that I like kind of check up on him, and his so-called friends that he has on Facebook. No one really does that. So the donations that come in, they're not just me buying beer or just going crazy and buying jerseys and blowing the money. A lot of the money that is going to be going in donations is going to be going back to you guys, the fans, with either jersey giveaways or, going to games and, changing someone's life. Because if you go to a game with me, a Duck game, I mean, we're sitting front row. We got the gloves. You know what I mean? We're eating Otson dog. We're tailgating. I'm going to give them not only a game, but an experience. And I'm really excited that with the donations being so generous, that I'm going to be able to change a lot of people's lives. Because once you go to a game like that and you sit front row or you sit really close and you experience everything that goes on in a game in college football or NFL or MLB or NBA, it can be life-changing. And this guy really deserves it. And I don't know if he thought that I was going to do it or not, but I promised him, I'm going to do it. So he's ready, and I can't wait to take him. We'll go live, and you'll be able to meet him, and it'll be a fun time. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's ever donated here before, or if you're going to donate in the future. Thank you so much. The grind is real, and I love you guys, and I love giving back. I mean, that's what it's about, the legacy and giving back, Makes you feel a lot better. It's not like Christmas where you want to get stuff. I get a lot more gratification giving back. I love being able to do that for people. Sean, the real Jordan, what's up, man? You're a regular now. This is awesome, bro, because anytime someone new comes in, I already know everyone pretty much by icon or by name, who they root for, teams, and it's like, we're building this like friendship, you know what I mean? And I love it. And you're always in the stream. Your brother is a smart guy. He told you to come in. You're here daily. Appreciate you. He said, what's up, bro? He's like, Colts might go for Eli maybe. What you think? No, they don't need Eli. Brissett's better than Eli. Eli's old as hell, right? Eli, and check this out, just to kind of give you where I'm kind of putting Eli. I hate Jameis Winston, right? Normally I would take anybody over Jameis Winston. I wouldn't take Eli over Jameis Winston. So that should tell you right there, Eli's old. He doesn't have a whole lot in the tank. A lot of the weapons are beat up. They're injured, right? You got Saquon, you got Ingram, you got Daniel Jones. That's a good starting point. The line is nice. Hernandez is good. I like some of the pieces there. Right, no more Landon Collins, no more Olivier Vernon. You got a lot of pieces to kind of get on that defensive side of the ball, but no way in hell Eli Manning. I mean, Eli Manning needs to retire so that way we can get Peyton Manning in the booth doing what Tony Romo's doing, because that's pretty much what's going to happen. Once Eli leaves the game, so Peyton doesn't have to critique him or talk about him, then we're going to be able to see Peyton in the booth or on TV or on one of the shows on Fox or CBS. I know it. He's on his way. We just got to wait for Eli to go away from the game, and you heard it here first. That's big facts. Well, I'm not doing fantasy, which means I'm leaving a spot open for everyone else. 6 Sync. All right. Well, we're going to have quite a few people that are going to get in, but we'll still be doing lots of videos. You're going to have a great time, and we're going to be able to grind throughout the whole season. I'm excited. College football, NFL. I mean, it's on already. Kittle can't be crowned after one season. Agreed. Amazing year. Right? Jimmy G went down. Mullins, had that great, chemistry with him. He's probably the fastest, tight end in the league. Kittle, great hands. He runs like a wide receiver. I like him a lot. But I mean, I still like, to be honest, even though the greatest Kittle was, last season, as far as experience, doing it game in and game out, that grit. Travis Kelce's got it. We know with his brother on the Eagles, Jason at center, they got, the Kelce family's got it. You don't fuck with them, all right? They got it, right? So bad it hurts. Zach Ertz got it, right? I think Hawkinson has got it, right? Ebron's stats, I think, are going to go down. Brissett's still going to be able to get him the rock, you know what I mean? So and then Doyle, I mean, they'll be sharing snaps, you know what I mean? So Kittle can surpass, maybe him, but those are going to be the top 4 tight ends, in my opinion. I think, Hawkinson will be able to pass O.J. Howard. Hawkinson will be able to get past Ebron and a few of the others. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of depth at the tight end position. I mean, there's probably like 6 good tight ends in the league. That's being generous. I mean, and then there's like that second tier guys like Jared Cook, who's kind of, streaky one game, 111 yards, 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and then the next game, 1 reception for 5 yards. And then you're fucked in fantasy. So, I mean, we're going to have to kind of see where it goes, but it'll be kind of a give and take. But the other guys that I mentioned, the top 5, those guys will be able to produce pretty much game in and game out this season. Big facts. Let's see here. FK Seam. What it do? Colt signed Kaepernick. Thoughts? Fly. Eagles fly. 0 chance. Because if Kaepernick was going to come back in the league, he would have already been in the league a year or 2 ago. I still think he can play football, but there's too much politics involved, unfortunately. If you put him on, any team, he could be a backup, right, to any team in the league, period, in my opinion. Right now, today, he could be on anybody's team as a backup. As far as starter concerned, there's probably about 3 teams, maybe 4, that he could start, like legitimately, or compete with the starters, on the rosters. Probably the Titans, right, with Tannehill and Mariota. If Kaepernick was there, he could probably fight for it. Kaepernick and Jameis, he could probably fight for it, right? Kaepernick, Josh Rosen, and Fitzpatrick on Miami, fight for it. I mean, I'm not saying there's a lot of teams there. Kaepernick, Andy Dalton, right? And then obviously their rookie that they have as well, they could fight for it. I mean, there's pieces. There's pieces there, but, I mean, you just never know. But he's not coming back. You know what I mean? He's a pioneer in this league. Nike's already got him. He fought for what he believed in. Sometimes people take it the wrong way, but it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but, he is a local hero, an American hero, whether you want to admit it or not. You know what I mean? He lost his job for fighting for what he believes in. You know what I mean? And it kind of sucks. He sacrificed his NFL career, for that. But ultimately, I feel that the owners, should have been able to let him play. I mean, is it really that big of a deal? You know what I mean? With sponsorship and everything, all the politics that goes on. But I guess it was too much, for our American society to overcome. I mean, it's sad, but racism is never going to stop. No matter who you are, this is a nice place where we can all come together, every race, every age. Football brings people together. At least that's what I thought. But obviously with Kaepernick's, case, it doesn't. So that's sad. But I still root for Kaepernick. I don't know if he'll ever be in the league, but I doubt it, unfortunately. But, it is what it is. So, Smitty. What about Leon Sandcastle? Funny guy. Dallas Goddard. So what do you think about Tony Pollard? Justin Trueheart, and maybe review the comment. I don't know why. It was a swearing word or anything like that. I absolutely love him. Like I said, I'm not a hater against the Cowboys or Patriots. So first off, that gives me credibility that anyone can come into this chat. Anyone can come to our channel, and I'm going to spit facts, and I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to talk shit like 99% of America. You know what I mean? That's why this channel is growing the way that it is. But I absolutely love Tony Pollard. I think that, no lie, if Zeke doesn't play all year, you're still okay. Normally I wouldn't say that. If your O-line wasn't elite, the defense wasn't elite, you didn't have breakout stars like Gallup that are going to take the next step, I would say you're in trouble. But with an amazing O-line that's elite, defense that'll help you out that's elite, Dak is above average. He can still work on his game a lot, right? But he's not as bad as people think he is. Gallup will be able to take off this season. His numbers are going to go through the fucking roof, right? Cooper is Cooper, right? But I like Pollard. I think that if you had him start the whole season, right, 1,000 to 1,300 yards, 8 to 12 touchdowns, I mean, it's going to be similar to what you're going to be getting from Zeke. Zeke would get you more out of the backfield, catching passes, being that dual threat. But if you're just talking about on the ground, over 1,000 yards, no problem. He'll be able to get you 80 yards or more almost every game, in my opinion, unless you get one of those really stout defenses like Chicago, right? That might be tough. But I think he'll be able to get you, if he gets 20 carries a game, 80 yards or more on most of the games, and like I said, 1,000 to 1,300 yards, 8 to 12 touchdowns would be possible. And if you get that kind of production with Zeke out the whole year, right, you still have a chance to get to 9 or 10 wins, maybe even 11. I mean, I still have the Eagles winning the division at 11-5, but I don't think that there's this huge drop-off, from going from Zeke to Pollard. Zeke is amazing, right? You could argue he's the best running back in the league, right? Winning the rushing title 2 out of 3 years. He's an amazing talent. He's a great receiver, right? He can do it with the best of them, right? But Saquon's up there, Kamara's up there, Run CMC's up there. There's a lot of nice running backs, but there's also new running backs that are going to be able to make a name for themselves. Pollard, Cowboys, right? Josh Jacobs, Raiders. David Montgomery could be the next Matt Forte. Better. I think he could be better than Matt Forte. So it just depends on opportunity, if you take advantage of it. I hope that they don't trade Zeke. I mean, I'm not a Cowboy fan per se, but, I mean, he is the Dallas Cowboys. Dak and Zeke are the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Van Der Esch are the Dallas Cowboys. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I imagine it's just going to be a chess battle with Jerry wiping his ass with those $100 bills. Just pay the man already. Melvin Gordon, pay the man already. They're worth it to your guys' teams. But ultimately what I feel is that you're not going to be a Super Bowl team without Zeke. You're not going to get to an NFC championship game without Zeke. I don't think you're going to get there, even with Zeke, you're not going to get there. But I feel if you do have him, that gives you a better chance to make the playoffs and make a run. Like I said, we're going to have to see, Dak take the next step, which is possible. But you're going to need Zeke there. And imagine Zeke and Pollard as a 1-2 punch. That'll be one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. Big facts. I feel that, like, if Zeke got hurt for a couple games throughout the year, oh boy could step in, Pollard, and get you 100, 110 yards, couple touchdowns. He runs hard, and the O-line will help him out. Big facts. Say more time. Come on, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Gronk is going to the WWE. That's the announcement. That's what I was hearing. I figured that would be something that, that more than likely he would be doing that. Let's see. Orion, you better shout me out and make sure it's a grand introduction. Damon P. Aqua Dio, baby. New Wentz order for life, brother. Was that good enough for you? I know it was. Love you, brother. Appreciate you. Jags have a shot now. Andrew Luck always kills us. But the thing is even though Andrew Luck is gone, you're still going to be probably on the bottom of the division. And I hate to say that, Sean, because I know that you want your teams to do good. The Canes lost to the Gators. The Jags, haven't looked the greatest out there. The defense is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The defense is top 5 in the league, period, with all the pieces. But I don't know if Nick Foles can get it done. Him and Fournette, I don't see the chemistry there. Fournette's kind of a knucklehead. I don't know if he can stay healthy. They don't have any weapons at tight end or wide receiver. If Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson were there from a few years ago, I'd say, okay, you guys have a shot. But that's not the case. It's going to be a long year. I mean, I'm thinking like 5 or 6 wins. I mean, it could be as little as 4. I mean, I hate to say that, but I don't really see where the wins are going to come from. I mean, if the defense can score like 14 a game, which isn't going to happen, that would help you out tremendously. But I just don't know what Nick Foles is going to give you. I don't think Nick Foles is a bad player, but he just had more to work with in Philly. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's going to succeed there in Jacksonville. Am I rooting for him? Of course I am. You know what I mean? But I just don't think that they have enough weapons. I think all the other teams in the division, to me, are better overall. I mean, even the Titans, and they look bad. You might be able to squeak by them, but I don't know if that's really saying a whole lot. If you get 6 wins and the Titans get 5, I mean, is that really a win? I mean, I guess it is. You know what I mean? But I still think the Colts and the Texans, even with their booty O-line, they're still going to be the top of the division for the AFC South, unfortunately. So just keeping it real, Sean. Not trying to hurt your feelings, but, I mean, I call it how I see it. It's going to be a long year, just like my Bucks. A long year for our Florida teams. Damn it. But that's how it goes. Can't New York understand that he has already reserved his spot and the Hall of Fame just leave? Yeah. Matthew Sanchez, what up, man? How are you? College, situations, trials and tribulations. He said North Carolina, Eugene, Decisions. Thoughts on Carolina's O-line? They struggled against the Pats. Yes, I feel that the two spots on Carolina's team, secondary and O-line, are going to be the biggest concerns all year long. Cam Newton will be ready by week 1 is what I'm hearing. I've been watching some tape. I've been reading. I've been following him. I've been stalking him. I've been stalking Cam. Be like, Cam, are you there? Are you there, Cam? I'm watching you, right? Because I want to make sure that he's healthy. But I don't know. O-line is going to be an issue, especially if you have a good defensive front, a front seven, even a 3-4 defense. It makes me a little nervous, you know what I mean? But Run CMC can dodge tackles with the best of them. DJ Moore, right? Samuel, Curtis, amazing, you know what I mean? I don't know what Greg Olson's going to give you this year. He might get banged up quick, but you got Spider Burns, you got McCoy, you got Kuechly. I think that, you got enough depth on the defense to hide some of the holes. And as long as they get pressure with Spider Burns, that'll hide the issues that they have in the secondary. And then they're just going to have to run plays quick. You're not going to be able to have long developing play action bootleg plays with Cam, especially if that leg and foot is bothering him, his ankle, right? You're going to have to be screen pass, hand it off up the middle, halfback dive, right? Through the tackles, reverses with Samuel. I mean, you're going to have to really mix up the playbook. You're not going to, a lot of shotgun sets, not a lot of underneath the centers. You might be able to do that a little bit, but you're going to want to protect Cam as long as you can. And if that O-line is a little shaky, which it is, and that secondary, you can hide weaknesses to a certain degree until you get that elite coach that singles you out on that single guard or that center or that tackle, and then it's fucking game over. So we'll see how it goes. I still love the Panthers' chances to dominate this season, though, especially with Spider Burns. That's big facts. I did a draft today. I had the second pick. Between Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, I picked Christian McCaffrey. Was that a bad decision? I kind of feel like Alvin will have a bigger impact. No, it's a good move because really you can go. Most drafts are going to go Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Kamara, right? Zeke would be up there too, but we don't know when he's going to play. Or you go Saquon, Kamara, Christian McCaffrey. I've seen guys go Kamara or McCaffrey 1 or 2. You can't really lose with those three. You're going to be able to get. Good run totals, PPR totals. The one thing that I think Run CMC and Kamara are going to do better than Saquon is catch the ball out of the backfield. They're going to be able to receive the ball through screen passes better. And they have a better chance to get 1,000 or 1,200. Rushing and receiving. Like I said, I think Saquon can definitely get a shitload of yards, on the ground. Receiving, though, he might have a little bit of a down year. We'll see. Obviously, with all those wide receiver weapons, makes me think that he won't. He will have a great year in both. But I think you made a good pick. Christian McCaffrey's a beast. He's already proven it. And that was a good pick. You really cannot lose with those three guys, with Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, or Alvin Kamara. If you pick anybody but those three picks in the first three, I don't want to say you're an idiot, but those are the first three that you're going to want to grab if you have the first three picks. So, Sean, you did a good job. Good job, my brother. All right, let me see here. I just got home, had a really fun weekend in Oregon. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Better than what you were expecting, I bet, Matthew. I know. I don't know if you had any type of, idea or, what Oregon was going to be like. Everyone's super nice out here. We got everything that we can do out here. Mountains, beaches, downtown life, hot girls, just nice people all around. There's always fun things to do out here. So I don't know if you're going to come out here or not, but if you ever come visit or decide to come out, you got a friend in me, brother. I'm going to be going to quite a few Ducks games. So, we're going to have to wait and see. Justin Trueheart said, imagine Zeke and Pollard could be like Ingram and Kamara, but better. Yeah, that's kind of thunder and lightning because Kamara is like Zeke, right? And Pollard could be like an Ingram. Very true. And to be honest, depending on Pollard's development, there's a chance that Pollard could be better than Ingram. You know what I mean? The one guy I really like, I like Jacobs on the Raiders, but the one I really, really like out of the three rookies, or even Henderson on the Rams, you could throw him in the mix at rookie too, right? Because Henderson's a third rounder from the Rams. right? And Montgomery's a third rounder on the Bears. But I really like Montgomery from the Bears. I think he might be the best one out of them all, but Jacobs might end up getting the most touches, at least in the beginning of the season. So we're going to have to wait and see. But I love Pollard. I think that people are sleeping on him a little. We've seen that he runs downhill. He's powerful. I mean, but anyone can really run behind that line. I mean, you got one of the best O-lines in the game, period. It's almost like if you had Pollard on the Steelers. We've seen James Conner do what he does. There's a reason why Connor is, as good as he is. Yeah, he's athletic and he's elusive and he can, dodge tackles and he's a great player. Pittsburgh Steelers line is one of the best in the NFL also. So we can't forget about the O-line. O-line is one of the most important positions in football that gets slept on. No one likes it when someone drafts a guard or tackle or center in the first round. It's not sexy, but it helps you win championships and helps you win your division. If you have good blocking up front, it gets you a better running game, better pass protection, your passing game, right? And then if you get a good center, that's going to be like your middle linebacker on the offensive line, calling the protections, and it's going to help save your quarterback's ass as well as the left tackle or the right tackle, depending on if your quarterback is right-handed or left-handed. It's big. And guards get slept on a lot too. It's like centers get the love, tackles get the love, but the centers and tackles, it seems like they, steal all the pub. I mean, when's the last time you really heard guards getting the love? It's probably like the position in the NFL that gets the least amount of love out of any player in the whole league, like out of any position, the guards. You know what I mean? But you need good ones to be able to be an elite team, and that's big facts. I was expecting a Shane McMahon introduction. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you know what? I've been losing my voice, by doing so many fucking videos. But, it is what it is. But maybe next time, I got some. You want to see how hardcore I am with me losing my voice? All right, so I got the Ricola, right, and then Honeys, sponsored by I don't know where the fuck they come from, like Italy, right? And then look at Honeys, another one, right? And then Honeys. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? I don't know where the hell these are coming from. One's from Switzerland. That's from the Ricola, right? These ones are they from Italy? I know they're not from here. They're like from overseas or something. They're supposed to be damn number one, though. Pure liquid honey inside every drop. Number one. Well, I don't know. As long as I'm grinding and I got them, I should be good to go. Let's see here. Yeah, but I'm glad that you had a good time. It doesn't surprise me that you had a good time. The facilities, the teachers, everything about Eugene is amazing. You know what I mean? So whatever you decide to do, I'm just happy that that you're deciding to have this opportunity to go to college. And what two better colleges to go to? Eugene, University of Oregon, or North Carolina, Michael Jordan's college? Damn, you know what I mean? So if you go to North Carolina, I'm gonna be hitting you up for North Carolina Duke. You know what I mean? We gotta be up there getting into it, right? Watching the games. Can you imagine? Damn, that'd be amazing. And then if you come here to Oregon, you got Oregon, UW, rivalry games. It's lit out here. But I'm proud of you, man. It's awesome. Let's see. Sean the Real Jordan. Okay, just making sure I have a very nice team. I got Travis Kelce, Christian, plus Chubb, and Juju Edelman, plus Big Ben as my fantasy QB. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Kelce is going to be the best tight end. So you got Run CMC. Chubb is my breakout running back for the season. So even though you didn't consult me, right, you did a great job. Juju is going to be an awesome wide receiver. Edelman is a sleeper too. From game in and game out, there'll be different, weapons that get the looks. He's not going to be as reliable as Juju, game in and game out. But moving forward, if you can pick up someone else to pair up, with Juju Smith-Schuster, it looks good. It looks good. It's definitely good. Moving forward. I'm proud of you. That's a good one. If you fucked up, I definitely would tell you, but that's actually a pretty good fantasy lineup so far. West Coast Birds donated the $2, and he has one request. Hit the fucking like button. Smash that shit till it's blue. Share the channel. He said donate like ya boy. Donate if I'm worthy. $2 is much appreciated, though. I appreciate that. He said all good choices except for Big Ben. I don't think so, though. I mean, I think Big Ben it's a prove-it year. You know what I mean? And if you have a prove-it year, you'll be handing the ball off a lot to Connor. But him and Juju have something to prove with AB and Le'Veon gone. I don't think Big Ben is going to have a bad year. Like I said, I don't think he's going to get injured. And that's the thing. I got them winning the division 11-5. So, I mean, there's other guys that you could have gotten that might have been better, right? But we don't know. shit, as of a couple days ago, we thought Andrew Luck was going to be in the league, and he's not. So I don't think Big Ben is a bad spot for quarterback. I mean, depending on when you picked him, could have been maybe questionable. But, I mean, if you picked him in like the 6th to 8th round, I mean, it's not really reaching that high. I mean, if you got all those other guys ahead of him. So the Bills will surprise people this year. Agreed. I love the Bills. They have a chance to get a wild card. They definitely have some holes in their game. But as we go in the regular season, our boy John Roberts will tell you, Bills Mafia. You know, they're going to believe it to the very end. Like I said, I was always thinking the Jets and the Bills were going to be kind of neck and neck, but now I have the Bills as the second best team in the AFC East behind the Patriots, no doubt. There'll be games where they struggle. There'll be games that they score 17 points or less. There'll be games where Josh Allen, looks like a college quarterback. But also remember, there's going to be games where Josh Allen looks like a fucking superstar, where he throws for 380 yards and has 4 touchdowns and 1 pick, maybe even a touchdown on the ground. There's going to be a few wow games this season. I don't know which ones of those are going to be, but I know he's going to have some big ones this season, and he's going to really improve his stat line from last year to this year. But the big reason is going to be coaching with McDermott, the D coordinator, everything that's going to be going on, with the team. The depth is on a whole nother level from last year's team, in my opinion. So that's a big reason why they're going to take a jump, from their win total from last year to this year. And they've been drafting really well. I've been impressed with their draft in the last 2 years. And I think moving forward, every draft that they have, they're going to be adding key cogs. Edmonds is going to be a beast. How many linebackers are 6'5" that can go sideline and sideline? You know what I mean? Tre'Davious White is awesome at the cornerback position, very underrated. Ed Oliver has a chance to be a beast himself on the line. Nice pieces. And I love Cole Beasley as the chemistry guy. John Brown is the deep guy. They got weapons on weapons. They're coming. They're coming very soon. Let's see here. Devin Motor Singletary. I like him a lot. 4 running backs deep. Very similar to kind of like the 4 horsemen for the Eagles, right? You're 4 deep. Singletary's already better than Yeldon. That says a lot on the depth chart. Shady McCoy, Frank Gore, Singletary, Yeldon. I mean, you could literally let one of those guys go. I mean, Tampa doesn't have anyone better than those 4 guys on the roster now. It's very impressive. All right, let me keep going here. We got Yankees 5, Mariners 3, bottom of the 6th. No chance for them winning, period. Ricola. Honeys. Hey, it's funny because my stepmom, I told her I've been grinding, and she's like, let me go in the back for you. Comes out with all the good, stuff to help me out because they know I'm going to be losing my voice a lot this season. So it's nice. Let's see here. Michael Pierpont, yo, sorry I'm late. No worries, my guy. I'm probably not going to be in here too much longer, but I just wanted to go, over just my list. I'm probably going to go for another 13 minutes or so. Just wanted to hop in for about 45 minutes to an hour and a half and just to say hi to everybody. You know what I mean? It's just one of those regular things that I like to kind of touch base with the fan base and, see what everyone's doing on a Monday. And obviously we grinded a lot. Matthew Sanchez, like always, I say subscribe to this channel, best channel in the world. Keep panning, Panther Nation, Who Dat Nation, Fly Eagles Fly, and others. Love you guys. Have a good night. Peace out, my brother. Appreciate you. I think we're keeping 5 running backs. Wow, that's crazy. He said, would you rather? So since Pierpont, you just came into the room, we had the Hurricanes, right? And we had the Gators. Did the reaction video with me, Marcus. I got him to come over, right? We went over our Teespring to try to get our merch kind of dialed in. We're getting really close to releasing that as well, which is exciting. And then we did just a fantasy video. I know some people were having problems putting their email in there. I was still getting the emails on my end, but they weren't showing up in the video. Some people were wondering, is my email safe? Well, I mean, it's an email. You know what I mean? So if you want to end up being in our league, definitely we'll be doing a drawing, and we'll probably end up having some of the regulars from last year in it as well. We have a few spots open, but I'm excited for it. So let me go over the list real quick again. NFL Top 5 Week 3 rookies. I was just going to do the 2 videos, the fantasy, sign-up video, and the Hurricanes and Gators. But you know what? I can't be lazy. Lazy is not in my blood. I mean, I just can't sit here. I mean, I can watch games, and I mean, I got shit on the DVR that I want to watch. Let me see what I got on the DVR. I still need to watch Ballers from last night. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I fell asleep. I got Monday Night Raw. I got Gordon Ramsay Uncharted, Fear the Walking Dead, American Pickers. I mean, I got a late night tonight, so I got a lot of stuff to do, but I still want to grind and show you guys my grind. So let me go over the list. Number 5. Number 5 is a rookie that has a chance for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like I said, the Jags are horrible on offense, right? But I do like this player on defense to have a chance to be top 5 defensive player on the rookies this season. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about not the Bills, Josh Allen, but the Jags, Duval, Saxonville, Josh Allen. 2 tackles for loss against the Dolphins. He's got a good motor. He adds another piece with Campbell and Ramsey and all the rest of the studs. Miles Jack that you have there. Look for him to make big plays. I've been impressed with him in preseason. He is going to be an impact player right away. He was going to be a guy that could have been a top pick in the draft, but he slid a little bit. But I love his skill set, and I love his motor. He's going to be a great addition to the Jags, not only for this year, but moving forward. Number 5, I got Josh Allen from Saxonville. All right? Number 4. Number 4 is my favorite tight end in the league that's new and up and coming, right? Matthew Stafford has needed another person to step up the game. Obviously with, Kerryon Johnson, they finally got a running back that's better than Reggie Bush, right? You end up getting Marvin Jones. You got some pieces there. You end up getting Kenny Golladay. I watched him in preseason a couple years ago. He broke out. Now you got the future on the offense, right? The second best player to Matthew Stafford, T.J. Hawkinson, Gronk Jr., Gronk 2.0, right? 3 receptions, 52 yards. He had 4 targets, three receptions versus the Bills. He's going to be a guy that I feel can get over 1,000 yards this season. If he doesn't get 1,000, it'll be 800-900. He could get anywhere between 8 to 12 touchdowns a season. I think he's that good. He's already, to me, a top 5 tight end in the league, which is saying a lot. By the time the season's over, I think everyone will know it. But he is, without a shadow of a doubt, Travis Kelce, so bad it hurts Zach Ertz, George Kittle, and then you're going to be saying T.J. Hawkinson, Ebron after him, Howard after him, O.J. Howard. But I think he'll be the 4th best tight end in the league, and he'll be definitely creeping up the list, trying to get past Kittle for number 3. I think he's that fucking good. T.J. Hawkinson, number 3. Or excuse me, number 4. Number 3 is a quarterback that I could have had at number 2 or 1 on the list, right? I do love this player a lot. He should start week 1. He's amazing, right? Everyone kind of doubted the owner, doubted the GM. He said he was an idiot, right? But now we're starting to see that Daniel fucking Jones is the truth. 9 for 11, 141 yards. He's accurate. He's got good pocket presence, good eye manipulation. He's got a fucking laser of an arm. He threw touchdown passes in the first 2 games. I like him. He could start week 1. Look for Daniel Jones to get the starting spot, hopefully by week 6 or sooner, but I probably will be closer to week 8, 9, or 10. Unless politics get involved, we'll have to wait and see. Number 3, Daniel Jones. Number 2, you saw the thumbnail. You already know who it is. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 8 receptions out of 9 targets, 104 yards. Obviously, that nice TD versus the Ravens flock. And then number 1, you got Brian Spider Burns, the most dominant rookie that we've seen so far. Versus the Pats, 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 4 sacks in 3 games. Amazing player. These guys are going to be forces moving forward. And that's pretty much it. So let's see here. If I do get in the fantasy draft and if I get the 2nd pick and you all have the 1st pick, please pick Patrick Mahomes. No, that's not happening. I didn't mean for that DM to sound mean, but by the way, I looked at it and it was like that. I sound condescending. I really meant that you were LeBron and Marcus was D Wade. Oh, I didn't even see it. So, it's all good, man. I'm a grinder, man. Oh, it's all good, big dog. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Pierpont, we love you, man. John Roberts, if you want to see the heart of a lion, check out Giant Slayer. Okay, I'll check that out. Might be able to watch that later tonight. But at this point, West Coast Birds, $2 donation. I'm obviously, it's kind of getting later. Obviously, I know it's East Coast. It's already 12 midnight, 12:15. It's like the next day already. So I'm sweaty. I'm tired. I've been grinding. We did 3 videos today. I wanted to do the stream. Thank you guys for, being here with me. Gang. Same ones every day. Sean, Pierpont, John Roberts. It's going to be like that all year round. I'm going to grind for you guys. And like I said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy yourself. And like I said, I'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get Marcus to come through as well. And like I said, if you guys didn't check out the Hurricanes and the Gators reaction video, check that out. Smash the like button on your way out. If you can, please. And like I said, subscribe to the channel, but I know you guys already do. And what did I say about who? About J-Law? Or about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? Oh, just 8 receptions, 104 yards versus the Ravens, right? 9 targets, 1 TD. I used him as a thumbnail because I think that he's the type of guy that Aguilar is going to be the odd man out, you know. Sad Panthers fan. Thank you for being in the room, man. I love you. But I think he's one of those guys that he's going to end up kind of getting to the point where now Aguilar is expendable. He's going to be a guy that's going to steal those targets. He's the real deal. And I'm excited that you guys got him. I watched him in Stanford. If you go back in the stream and watch what I said originally about him, I love him. I've been watching him for quite some time. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's a beast. And he's going to be a guy that he'll be getting all the intermediate routes. D-Jacks will go deep. You know, Jeffrey will be getting, safeties over the top. You'll get Zach Ertz with some of the double teams and Goddard. But that one guy that they'll be leaving open all year long will be J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He's going to make him pay. He's going to fucking make him pay, and I think he's going to have a huge year. I feel bad for Aguilar because he's kind of the odd man out, but to be honest, Arcega-Whiteside's better than Aguilar already, and I think you know it too. So I'm excited to see what he can do in the regular season. I'm ready for the Wentz, new Wentz order for life to have a great MVP year as well. So that's pretty much it. Pierpont, Sad Panthers fan, Sean, John Roberts, all y'all, have a great rest of your night. I'm going to start watching some of my shows, and then once I do that, I'm going to start doing some more research. I'm going to watch some more tape, and I'll be going to bed very late, but have a great night. And I got one question to ask you. Who talk sports like us? Northwest Sports Fanatics. It's your boy Orion, and I'm out. Love you guys.